What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster, and at this point, with all of the damage control that Ubisoft is having to do, and with all the strife within the company, it looks like it might take a minor miracle for Assassin's Creed Shadows to actually hit its announced release date of February 14th.
We are so screwed.
There's so much going on right now with Ubisoft, it's almost impossible for me to know where to begin. The employees in France are freaking out right now about being asked to return to the office, which they don't like, so they're going on strike. This is really bad timing for Ubisoft, considering they just pushed back the release date of Assassin's Creed Shadows from November to February, and they also announced that they were doing a lot of work in the meantime to revamp the game and have it ready for their new launch date. It is almost certain this is why they asked their employees to return to the office, so they could put the pedal to the metal and get this game ready. The company is in dire straits with their stock price floundering, but when Ubisoft called for aid in their darkest moment, this was their employees' reaction. I suppose that's what you can expect when you hire a bunch of selfish narcissists. Another thing you can expect when you hire talentless, lazy bozos is that they will screw up like they did with this here. Do you guys remember this whole fiasco from last month? They announced these Assassin's Creed Shadows figures here, which is an insult to Japanese culture with the half-destroyed Torii Gate, a symbol of the destruction that was wrought by the atomic bomb during World War II. Well, these were just pulled from sale, and their makers apologized for offending Japan. Gamers were the ones who brought this to attention, and this is just one more black eye for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Though, of course, Ubisoft will do anything to avoid admitting that they can see which way the wind is blowing. They can't help but notice that we are winning, but they don't want to admit their impending doom.
Can you see anything?
Of course not. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where I keep a list of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle on the platform is Dr. Disaster 1. Anyhow, basically any time that you see Ubisoft in the news these days, you can just about guarantee that it's bad news. At least, it's bad news for them. But it's good news for those of us who want this controversial woke crap pulled out of video games. When Ubisoft revealed that Yasuke was going to be a main character in Assassin's Creed Shadows, that was them deliberately kicking the hornet's nest. They knew there would be people who oppose a black man as a main character in a game set in ancient Japan. Even if you happen to be someone who supports his inclusion in this game, or if you don't care or whatever, you have to admit that this was inviting controversy where they really didn't need it. The thing is, an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan is the easiest layup imaginable. They didn't have to even make it a very good game, and it would have sold well. That is why they poured so many resources into this game. The same way they poured so many resources into Star Wars Outlaws, because an open-world Star Wars game should also have been an easy layup. But apparently, Ubisoft must enjoy challenges, because they turned an easy layup into a half-court shot. But this figure here is really emblematic of how Ubisoft handled this game. The figure was created by the company Pure Arts. They make these things called collectibles. They're a lot like Funko Pops, I guess. I've never really seen them out in the wild, but anyhow, you might remember they put this design out about a month ago, right before the Tokyo Game Show was set to come out, and it was right at that time that Ubisoft announced they weren't going to have Assassin's Creed Shadows be a part of that show, and we all knew what was coming right after. They were going to announce a delay of the game. I maintain that the negative attention that they got from this figure was the straw that broke the camel's back and convinced them they needed to push Shadows back in order to rework it. This apology reinforces that belief. I think it's quite clear that Ubisoft is well aware of how bad the whole thing looks, especially to Japanese gamers. In case you aren't familiar, that half-destroyed torii gate that's featured in this collectible is actually a real structure in Japan. It was destroyed during World War II after the atomic bomb was dropped, so this kind of serves as a reminder of just about the darkest moment in Japanese history. Not to mention, it's obviously an anachronism since the game takes place in ancient Japan. So yeah, the timing of the announcement of this figure followed shortly thereafter by Ubisoft announcing they were pushing the game back to February. That makes it seem like this figure was the last straw. It was what pushed Ubisoft into changing it all up because they knew what a shitstorm they'd be walking into if they attended the Tokyo Game Show after pulling this. They pushed the game back, and now I'm thinking it's going to be an absolute miracle if it releases in February with this strike going on. I think anyone has the right to strike. They can strike if they want to. They have the right not to work and to ask for better conditions. That's fine, but the timing is really crap, because if these workers aren't careful, they will kill the company that they work for. Ubisoft might not exist if they keep this up. Their only real leverage is the company's desperation, since the employees haven't produced a damn thing of value for a while now. Skull and Bones was a flop. Star Wars Outlaws was a flop. Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to flop, so striking when the company is in trouble might be their best option, but word is that if Ubisoft gets bought out, they might be looking at laying off damn near half their employees. So I don't know, man. I wouldn't strike if I were them, not right now. But what do I know? Maybe that's what these narcissistic subversives that work for Ubisoft, maybe that's what they want. To them, Ubisoft is just another symbol of Western culture, which they want to tear down. And that's funny to me because it's corporations like this which support their worldviews, because these people aren't really revolutionaries. They are posers and useful idiots. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop some mockery of Ubisoft into the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.